Welcome to Automate Your Agency. Every week, we bring you expert insights, practical tips, and success stories that will help you streamline your business operations and boost your growth. Let's get started on your journey to more efficient and scalable operations. All right, Micah, there has been a decision that we made a couple years ago that has completely changed and benefited us with the way that we manage everything. And it's having an AI meeting recorder.
My God. I wasn't exactly sure where you were going with this, but yes, it was, I don't know, one of the main biggest things we've ever had in this
Yeah.
business, like revolutionary.
Completely worth like every penny that we pay for our team to have access to this and for ourselves. We use
Yes.
this one piece in multiple use cases within our organization for automation.
It is safe to say I use it in every meeting and I use it every day and I use it for every meeting prep that I need to look at
Yeah.
or get into. And it's to the point where it's not necessarily a handicap, but it is such a useful tool.
It is. And I remember a year ago, and had already been we use Grain internally. We'd already been using it for a while. And I remember a year ago doing an AI presentation and having this as a big piece of, hey, having this tool as a part of your tech stack is extremely valuable. And so many people were just so adverse to using it because, well, I don't want, this listening into our meeting and getting information and had a bunch of excuses. And that's okay. You have your right to feel that way. But I can't imagine having to go back to manual translating information to team members to execute, to remembering what we talked about and making sure that I get everything correct, being present on the call.
Yeah. I mean, I can list, since we're right at the beginning of this topic, I can list easily 3 or more things that are just mind-blowing right off the top. 1, we record a call, it summarizes everything. So if I have a consult with somebody, within 5 minutes of completing that call, I have an email out to them with the next steps, with the chapters of the call, the call broken down into chapters with a complete summary, with a link to the recording, everything that they need for them to recap what the call is. Because how many times do you get on a call with a potential vendor? They dump a bunch of information at you, and
Uh-huh.
then you're like, God, if I could just do that call all over again or listen to that again. And that's what this provides.
Hmm.
Number 2, I can go back to a call and ask it questions. So I'm like, what did I say about this? What did the client say about this? What were the next steps? Whatever it was, I can
Hmm.
ask questions about it because it's all transcribed.
Hmm.
And then number 3, we can grab clips out of that and send it to the team. So they don't have to watch the entire meeting. They can just watch the 1 or 2 minutes that are most important for them to understand about the meeting to complete something on a development side.
Yeah. And I mean, we could continue listing the ways that we use these too, and hopefully it inspires somebody listening. But we use the meeting transcript as part of our automation for proposal generation. So it's part of our
Uh-huh.
sales process. And we have an episode on that we can link in the show notes, but really getting to the core of the pain points that your client has and how you solve them. And it's all done within 2 minutes in the proposal generation. Another place we use it is in the kickoff deck creation. What do we need to achieve? It builds it from a template that we've assigned it, and it does an amazing job. And it's all from the meeting notes. And you have recorded testimonials. How hard is it to remember to get testimonials from your
Yes.
clients and you have it exactly verbatim what they said and you can get approval for it? It's not that we're just going to take these and run, but that, hey, I really liked what you said there. Could I use that as a testimonial? And it's their words.
Yeah. And you don't, yeah, you just clip it out. We've done that multiple times. Because, of course, everybody raves when they get on the call with us. So then we just clip everything out.
Exactly. We have tons
But
of raving fans.
yeah. All right. So, I mean, this kind of piggybacks into something that I get asked all the time because companies are starting to use these. Copilot has this functionality built into it if you're on a Microsoft suite. there's all these tools and all these teams that are, this is becoming more regular. So
Mhm.
if you're not using it, definitely look into it because it is worth it 100%. There's even free tools out there that can do this. But now we're entering the next level of this. And the question that I get asked all the time, and I think you're hearing this a lot too, Elaine, is hey, we're recording our meetings, but we're not able to figure out how to create action items from these meetings.
Mhm. Yeah, I do get that. And, there's so many processes that are in place at an organization to try to glean that information that AI and some automation could already create that from having that as an integrated tool where it goes in and puts the action items in to click up.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, you have a meeting, you have your AI call recorder, you have all the benefits from that. It auto transcribes it. It sends a webhook to an automation process as soon as the transcription is complete and ready. And then from that, you have the automation leveraging another AI that goes through the transcript, identifies action items, and then syncs up with your project management tool to create and assign and date and prioritize the action items discussed in the meeting.
Yeah. So, Micah, one thing that I want to say on this is that whatever tool you decide to use for this, for meeting recorder, you need to have standardization in your company in order to automate it with a tool like your project management system or your CRM. You don't have every person in your organization working from different CRMs. You don't have one using HubSpot and one using Pipedrive. If you are,
I mean,
let's chat.
maybe they do, but if you do, then please
Call us.
listen to our other episodes on standardization.
Yeah. So the first step is deciding on the tool that you're going to use. There's so many out there. Are there better ones? Sure, than others, but if you have one, it's going to be able to record your transcript, create action items. That's what you're looking for. And then pay for it for your team that's client facing, whether that would be your salespeople and your account managers, whatever you call them. But they're client facing, having client facing discussions. Because if you don't give them those tools, then they're going to have to do that work manually. And then you're not getting the benefits.
I mean, Elaine, I know you're thinking it from a client facing point of view, but I think there's an argument to be made for internal meetings too, especially for larger organizations, because there's plenty of teams that need to have very important meetings that have action items, that have VAs, that have assistants that are doing all of this work by hand, taking notes, building, post meeting briefs, creating action items. And to be honest, that just isn't as good. Not even from a
Mhm.
speed perspective, but just from a game of telephone
Yeah.
perspective. It's so much harder. But internal meetings, creating action items, I would say is definitely something to consider as your team grows.
Yeah, I think that's valid, Micah. And I think, from somebody going, well, gosh, then do I need to pay for this software for every single team member? I think I could argue that no, you don't need it for every team member, but should a manager then have it? Who's leading these calls that an organization, you would want to be able to take out action items? Just trying to, frame it so that no, you don't have to
Yes.
pay it for every single person on your team. You just need one person leading the meeting to have the access to it.
Yeah. I would say too, and I don't want to jump around too much, but tool choice for standardization is super important. So when Otter first came out, I was completely amazed. I installed it on my phone. It was awesome. I remember working on the lake house. I wanted to like measure a bunch of stuff so that I can't remember. We were doing something in the bathroom and I needed to measure stuff. And there was nobody else there, and I didn't have any other free hands. So I turned Otter on my phone and said the measurements out loud, and it transcribed it into text that I could then use to go back as if it was taking notes. Obviously not a business case, but like Otter was amazing. Now Otter's at the bottom of my list. So I would say my personal top three. I don't know if you have other favorites, Elaine, but my personal top three for looking into is we use Grain and we've been using Grain for years. It's amazing. I don't know. I don't have anything really bad to say about it other than I wish it was more flexible for integrations.
That
That's
would be
all.
my con.
Yeah. Fireflies, fantastic. Really great with integrations.
Mhm.
And then Phantom is another one. And I think it's mostly free integration wise. I can't remember offhand how flexible it is, but those would be the three that I would look into.
Yeah, those are my 3 that I recommend.
Same.
Yeah,
Microsoft Copilot's built in and does it, but then you have issues with getting that data out and taking action on it. And again, integrations and some of the summaries are meh. So take it with a grain of salt. But Otter, just be very cautious on that one. Sorry, Otter.
I can't tell you how many people have said, "I installed it and now I cannot get rid of it."
Now, what I would say is Otter is great at the transcription.
I do like it for when I'm practicing for my speaking engagements, I do use it because I hold my
Really?
phone like a microphone and I have Otter app, and then I can
Oh
see
yeah.
what I
See, that's
said.
a brilliant use case.
Yeah. So, I don't need to use Grain to record me as a video. I just need to see how I said things and what I liked. So there's a
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing, whether you take our recommendations or don't, is that you are looking for something that has some type of integration, some type of API access that you can use so that you can take it from the software that you recorded in to the next steps that you want to have it in. So we are using it to auto populate meeting notes into Pipedrive after we do a call so that everything is there with, it's a client relationship manager. So we want those call notes to be in there. And then we're also using it for other integrations with things like ClickUp and stuff. So that would be the key piece.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I think, this I I don't know. I don't want to make a big claim here, but I'm having a hard time seeing how not all meetings are going to go this route in the near future.
I agree. And we always talk about, what does our future look like? And with AI. And you can't imagine running your business without an email address, right? Like we're not sending faxes and handwritten letters to each other for the most part, right? You use email. Well, that is going to be so ingrained in what we do in the future that everybody's going to be using these things. It's no longer going to be the future. It's now
The now.
the
Yeah.
now. So you can make work harder for you and reject doing these tools, or you can really start making it easier, but also making it more valuable.
Yeah. So we do talk about this a lot, Elaine, where it's it's like, oh, not another platform.
Mhm.
But this is the case where maybe it's just get over it.
Well, I can do a case on this that get over it, I think should be at the top of the list. But higher than that is I don't even know what we pay for all of our users to use Grain. But
I don't either. That's how valuable it is. I
yeah,
don't care.
I don't, yes, because if it saves them 1 hour a month in time, it has paid for itself. So, will it save an hour of time? Absolutely. It saves an hour a day of time with the amount of
Yeah.
client meetings that we
Saves
do.
an hour a meeting of note taking and trying to go back to your notes and think, God dang it. What did I forget to write down? I knew we talked about X, but I didn't write it down. And now I can't remember. And now I've got to ask the client, or I've got to ask the other team members that were in the meeting, or I got
Mhm.
to make it up. And hopefully the client won't notice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. So, it saves so much time. It makes the time that we are together better and it produces a
Aw,
more
thanks,
valuable
Elaine.
result. No, I mean with the client or our internal
Right.
meetings, not
Yep.
you and I.
Got it. All right, so let's go ahead and summarize. Elaine, I think the reason that you brought this one up today is because we hear it so often. You and I have been talking about it. There's so much value in being able to record your meetings, having an AI note taker, tying that to an AI agent that can automate the creation of the tasks. That reminds me, there's one piece in this that I think, I did a presentation last week in front of about 12 business owners, and they pointed out, hey, every example that you gave still includes humans. And I'm like, absolutely, because We can't just have AI do everything for us. It's a tool that humans get to use. Cool. So there's my little soapbox on that. But how does that apply to this?
Mhm.
Super quickly, as we're going through the summary, we've got you're recording a meeting. It's automatically transcribing it. That transcription's going to an AI agent. That AI agent's going, here's all the action items that make sense based on the transcript. It automatically adds it to your ClickUp Asana Monday, etc. At that point, that's where the assistant or yourself or somebody who is on the meeting needs to be a human, goes to the action items while the meeting's fresh in their mind, review the action item because it was created in 60 seconds or less, and go, is this right? Yes or
Mhm.
no? Do I need to edit it? Do I need to make modifications? Do I want to add a little bit to the description? Do I want to at mention somebody to bring them into the loop? That's where humans are using the tools like this to make it super, super valuable.
Right. We're the creative, strategic ones, and AI is literally our assistant waiting to help us be better at those things.
Yeah, don't say that out loud because then the AI will, they're coming after you.
No,
No,
did I hurt
just
their
kidding.
feelings?
So, yeah, I think, if we compare that with you have a meeting, you record all the notes, then you try to turn that into action items. And by the time you're at action item 3, maybe this happens to nobody else, but it does happen to me. You're almost like, oh man, what was that fourth action item? What was that fifth action item? And you're going back to your notes and you're kind of losing your train of thought. And maybe a Slack came in, turn off your notifications, episode, I don't know, but it was
Mhm.
recent. And going into just getting stuff done versus 60 seconds, you have all your action items created, everything's fresh in your mind, and you're off and running to be more productive with work.
Mhm. And that's what we get to be more productive, doing the things that we enjoy doing.
Yes. So that we can work less hours and spend more time with loved ones.
Or doing our hobbies, whatever it is that you enjoy doing.
Yes.
So, if you like any of the ideas that we talked about and you're looking at trying to implement some of the automation, trying to identify what might be the best platform to go with, we'd love to chat. Contact us. Micah and I love helping companies automate their workflows.